Page 16. A grandfather. An old man went to live with his son, daughter-in-law, and 4-year-old grandson. The old man's hands trembled, his eyesight was blurred, and his steps faltered. The family ate together at the table, but the elderly grandfather's shaky hands and failing sight made eating difficult. Peas rolled off his spoon onto the floor. When he grasped the glass, milk spilled on the tablecloth. The son and daughter-in-law got irritated with the mess. "We must do something," said the son. "I've had enough of his spilled milk, noisy eating, and food on the floor." So the husband and wife set a small table in the corner. The grandfather ate alone while the rest of the family enjoyed dinner on the table. Since grandfather had broken few dishes, his food was served in a wooden bowl. Whenever the family glanced at grandfather's direction, sometimes he had a tear in his eye as he sat alone. Still the only words the couple had for him were sharp criticism when he dropped a fork or spilled food. The 4-year-old watched it all in silence. One evening before supper, the father noticed his son playing with wood scraps on the floor. He asked the child sweetly, "What are you making?" The child said innocently, "Oh, I'm making a little bowl for you and Mama to eat your food in when I grow up." The 4-year-old smiled and went back to work. The words hit them like a dagger, and the parents were speechless. Tears rolled down their cheeks. Though no word was uttered, both knew what must be done. That evening the son took his father's hand and gently led him back to the family table, where everybody had their daily meals together. And for some reason neither son nor his wife seemed to care any longer when a fork dropped, milk spilled, or the tablecloth soiled. Children are remarkably perceptive, as every single word or gesture is etched in their memory. If they see us patiently providing a happy home atmosphere for family members, they will imitate their attitude for the rest of their lives. The wise parents should realize that every day the foundation is being laid brick by brick for the future. Children are the Xerox copies of their parents. Page 17. Quotable quotes. If we do what we should not, we must bear what we would not. The only way to gain respect is firstly to give it. The moment we insult someone, we will lose the respect of others. Anyone can be polite to a king. It takes gentlemen to be polite to an ordinary man. Let us also learn from the mistakes of others. We cannot make them all by ourselves. Mistakes are the facts of life. It is the response to mistakes that counts. Though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new end. Page 18. Talent. There was a young man who was ambitious and desirous of taking admission for MBA course in the best university. He was smart enough to get through the written test and was to appear for a personal interview. On taking the interview, the interviewer found this young man to be bright, since he could answer all questions correctly. This made him impatient, and he decided to corner the young man. "Tell me your choice," he asked. "I shall either ask you 10 easy questions or one real difficult question. Think well before you make up your mind." The young man thought for a while and said, "My choice is one real difficult question." "Well, good luck to you then, you've made your choice." And he asked the young man a question. "What comes first, day or night?" The young man was confused at first, but he thought for a while and said, "It's day, sir." "How?" asked the surprised interviewer. "Sorry, sir," said the young man. "You promise me that you will not ask me a second difficult question." This impressed the interviewer, and the young man's admission for the course was secured. Doing easily what others find difficult is talent, but handling difficult situations in a cool, calm way with intelligence is genius. Page 19. A businessman. A businessman, as a defendant in a lawsuit involving large sums of money, was talking to his lawyer. "If I lose this case, I'll be ruined." "It's in the judge's hands now," said his lawyer. "Would it help if I send the judge a box of mithai?" asked the businessman. "Oh no. This judge is a man of principles. A stunt like this would prejudice him against you. He might even hold you in contempt of court. In fact, you shouldn't even smile at the judge." Within the course of time, the judge rendered a decision in favor of the businessman. As the businessman left the courthouse, he said to his lawyer, "Thanks for the tip about the mithai box. It worked." "I'm sure we would have lost the case if you had sent them," said the lawyer. "But I did send mithai box to the judge," said the businessman. "What? You did?" said the lawyer incredulously. "Yes, that's how we won the case." "I don't understand," said the lawyer. "It's easy. I sent the mithai to the judge, but enclosed our opponent's business card. Experience mixed with intelligence will always triumph." Page 20. Winner. In 1944, Emmeline Snively, Page 20. Winner. In 1944, Emmeline Snively, director of the Blue Book Modeling Agency, told an aspiring model, "You'd better learn secretarial work." She was none other than Marilyn Monroe. In 1954, Jimmy Denny, manager of the Grand Hotel, fired a singer after one performance. He told him, "You're no good, son. You ought to go back to driving a truck." That singer was Elvis Presley. When Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, he tried over 2,000 experiments before he got it to work. A young reporter asked him how it felt to fail so many times. He said, "I never failed once. I invented the light bulb. It just happened to be a 2,000-step process." Failures are the pillars of success. The little girl was born prematurely and her survival was doubtful. When she was 4 years old, she contracted double pneumonia, which left her with a paralyzed left leg. At age 9, she removed the metal leg brace she had been dependent on and began to walk without it. By 13, she had developed a rhythmic walk. That same year, she decided to become a runner. For the next few years, she came last in the races she entered. Everyone told her to quit, but she kept on running. One day she actually won a race, and then another. From then on she won every race she entered. Eventually this little girl, Wilma Rudolph, went on to win 3 Olympic gold medals. Walt Disney was fired by a newspaper for lacking ideas. He also went bankrupt several times before he built Disneyland. A candidate for a news broadcaster's post was rejected by officials since his voice was found unsuitable. He was also told that with his long name he would never be famous. He succeeded in spite of the problems and not in the absence of problems. That candidate was Amitabh Bachchan. Winner never quits. The quitter never wins. Success doesn't mean the absence of failure. Failure means we must try harder. Page 21, The Law of the Seed. Let us take a look at an apple tree. There might be 500 apples on the tree, each with 10 seeds. That's a lot of seeds. We might ask, why would you need so many seeds to grow just a few more trees? Nature has something to teach us here. It is telling us most seeds never grow. So if we really want to make something happen, we had better try more than once. This means we may have to attend 20 interviews to get one job. We may have to interview 40 people to find one good employee. We may have to talk to 50 people to sell one house or a car or an idea. In a nutshell, when we understand the law of the seed, we will not be disappointed. We will stop feeling like victims. Laws of nature are not things to take personally. We just need to understand them and work with them. Let us never blame others to protect ourselves and never blame others for our failures. Time has a way of revealing the truth. Page 22. Love. It was Friday morning and a young executive finally decided to ask his boss for a raise. Before leaving for work, he told his wife what he was about to do. All day long he felt nervous and apprehensive. Finally, in the late afternoon, he summoned courage to approach his employer, and to his delight, the boss agreed to the raise. The elated husband arrived home, and to his surprise, a beautiful table was set with their best crockery and lighted candles. Smelling the aroma of a festive meal, he figured that someone from the office must have called his wife and passed on the message. Finding her in the kitchen, he eagerly shared the details of his good news. They embraced and danced around the room before sitting down to the wonderful meal with his wife, which she had so lovingly prepared. Next to his plate, he found an artistically lettered note that read, "Congratulations, darling. I knew you'd get the raise. This dinner is to show you how much I love you." Later, on his way to the kitchen to help his wife serve dessert, he noticed that a second card had fallen from her pocket. Picking it up from the floor, he read, "Don't worry about not getting the raise. You deserve it anyway. This dinner is to show how much I love you." This is the way to love someone. Success or failure is immaterial. We never know how to worship until we know how to love. Love is not measured by how we feel, but by how we make the other person feel.